The Galveston Hurricane of 1900 by Scott Toreki and Matthew Brennan. Before the storm, Galveston, Texas was the crown jewel of the region. It was an economic boomtown that grew from a small town to one of the wealthiest cities in Texas. Due to its location on the Gulf of Mexico, it was the center of trade in its region, with 70% of the country's cotton crop passing through the port. By 1900, it had 36,000 residents and was the first city in the region to have telephones and electricity.
There was little preparation for the storm, mostly due to the actions by the Weather Bureau, the predecessor to the National Weather Service. While meteorologists in Cuba had predicted that the storm would go into the Gulf of Mexico, the Bureau reported that it would go along the East Coast. The director of the Bureau also forbid any regional forecaster from declaring a hurricane without first going through Washington. This was made worse by how hard it was to predict storms at the time, without satellites or airplanes. The storm made landfall just a few miles from Galveston as a Category 4 hurricane with 135 miles per hour winds on September 8, 1900. The following is a silent film taken by one of Thomas Edison's assistants days after the disaster, showing the devastation caused.
The effects were devastating. 3,600 buildings were destroyed, and an estimated 6,000 to 12,000 were killed. It is the deadliest natural disaster in American history. The storm surge of 15 feet completely flooded the town, which is 9 feet tall at its highest point. The city was completely cut off from the outside world, with all bridges and telegraph wires being destroyed. The country found out 2 days later when messengers finally reached Houston with estimates of 500 dead. These estimates were dismissed as exaggerations. Galveston never fully recovered from the disaster. Although it was rebuilt, investors pulled out of the city, and Houston became the new largest port in the region, with the dredging of the Houston Ship Channel in 1909 killing Galveston's economy.
As they rebuilt, the local government pioneered the commission form of municipal government, in which commissions of appointed experts rather than appointed officials ran the government. Dissatisfaction with Galveston's government had been building for years before the Deepwater Company recommended this new system with a commission appointed by the governor and composed of a mayor, president, and 4 commissioners. Each commissioner would administer a division of the city government, such as finance and revenue, or police and fire. The government funded the creation of the seawall for the city, which was 10 miles long and 17 feet tall, as well as raised some parts of the city by up to 7 feet. This would save the city when another hurricane struck in 1915, which only killed 11 people.
The new form of government was heavily influenced by reformers in the Progressive era. Reformers have been working to improve municipal governments across the country, mainly in cities. They focused on results and efficiency in the government while cutting down on corruption and improving public services. This is seen in the new form of commission government in Galveston. This new form would cut down on corruption by having the governor appoint the commissioners, and focus on efficiency by having experts be the commissioners who knew what they were doing.
The Galveston hurricane is similar to the recent hurricane which struck the region, Hurricane Harvey. Both hurricanes were Category 4s with wind speeds within 20 miles per hour of each other, and making landfall only 170 miles apart on Texas coastal islands. The major differences are that with Hurricane Harvey, communications, technology, and public safety has improved. With new advances, we can now see where the hurricanes are going to go and warn the people in their path, stopping another hurricane like the one in Galveston from killing thousands.